Taylor Schabusiness, a woman currently on trial for accused mutilation, just lost it on her own attorney, and this footage is nuts. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I don't know how I missed this case. I guess I was just trying to block it out because the details of this one are insane and gross, so be warned. I'm also going to have to just talk for a little bit before I show you some of this footage, even though there's not really an attack in this footage. It's more just a push. And then they can restrain her as it all goes down. But this clip has been making the rounds as, yes, the Taylor Schabusiness, who I'm going to get into the details of this case and describe as best as I can here on YouTube. There's no other way to describe her than an alleged monster. And it does seem like, yeah, no, this person did it. The way she's trying to get off is that she's pleading insanity. So this is a awful person that clearly has mental problems, but no excuse given the acts that she did against this poor man. Shad Rock Thyron, I send so much love out to this poor kid's family. This guy, 24. But my goodness, the details of his unalivement is horrifying, what this woman did to him. And it's just truly tragic. And I have some of those details, which we'll get through. But I want to give you this footage that has now been released. So here's the, we got two angles of it. Here's the first angle. You can't really see what happens, but you can see the close up and then the restrainment of her going after her own lawyer, who has now filed to be removed as her lawyer. And the judge is now, we're waiting for that to see if he will now be removed, because I'm sure he does not want to represent her any further. But here's the clip. It's just out of nowhere.
Stop it. Stop it.
Now she's just trying to be restrained. I think they're trying to get the cuffs on her.
Rachel, call.
And she's resisting.
Is they bringing 7 in? Yeah, let's just go to secondary. We'll stand by there. Billy, can you walk?
I mean, this woman has severe mental issues. Now, here you can see from another angle from the court feed, the cameraman panned away just as it was happening, and you can see there the judge is like looking at something, and she immediately, it looks like straight, but it just sort of just hits him in the shoulder. And then begins to push him. Now you can see that from that angle, you sort of see what happens here. As we come back to this angle, comparing both, yeah. He does, he blocks her. He gets pushed in the shoulder a bit and then does seem to block her off. But here is that other angle where you get a little bit closer of a look. And there's a slow-mo they're going to play with for you next. Again, just hits him in the shoulder, but it looks a lot more aggressive than it was. And she's restrained, so it's hard for her to really do anything aside from push him. And then the officer pushes back and then just is trying to get her restraints back on as she just resists in this just footage. Which is, again, is this all to add to her insanity plea? I mean, this woman needs to go away. She's on a $2 million bond. I don't think she's going anywhere. And after this outburst, I'm sure it's not going to help her case. Well, it might, and it might help the insanity plea of this case, right? Because, guys, this story is just, I don't know if you even knew about this story, but I'm going to try my best to explain it as carefully and, as I can. But it's just some horrible details in here. So pardon me if I'm speaking in code. I'm just trying to, speak appropriately. So we are still within the rating that is safe. Shad's mother, the victim's mother, called the police to her home in Green Bay at around 3 a.m. on Tuesday. She'd been woken by the storm door slamming and the sound of a vehicle driving away. She saw the basement light was on and went to see if her son was there, assuming that it was Schabusiness with whom Tyrone had spent the day that she had heard leaving. According to the criminal complaint, which refers to only her by initials TP, the mother went into the basement and did not see anyone, so she started to walk back up the stairs, and that's when she noticed a bucket near the bottom of the stairs. She removed a blanket that was over the bucket and discovered the head of her son, Shad. Tyron's mother told the police that she must have picked up her son around 9:30 on Monday, which was the last time she saw him alive, 9:30 p.m. on Monday. Her and her boyfriend were out for much of the following day, and she did not hear, the mother, I guess, and her boyfriend were out, did not much hear her son return, but she believes they had spent the day in the basement, and she heard Schabusiness talking, the accused. Arriving on the scene, they reported how he observed the plastic bucket on the floor with a shower beach towel over it. The officer lifted the towel and observed, yes, a human head was inside the bucket. Also noted that what appeared to be dried blood near a mattress. Didn't take long for the police to catch up for Schabusiness, and they found her with blood still on her sweatshirt, sweatpants, scratches on her arms, a cut on her left thumb, and what appeared to be blood on her hands. There again, the poor guy. Oh, it was so tragic here. So yeah, she's married apparently with a son. And she knew him. They were Facebook friends. She claimed that she'd been doing drugs, methamphetamines early in the day, and that she used trazodone, a powerful sedative, and gave it to him. They recovered evidence of the drug taking, including a glass pipe and a bag and stuff. They also noticed the bucket, obviously, and she responded to that. That's pretty effed up. When asked if what had happened, she replied, "That's a good question," and initially claims to have blacked out. She went on to tell the police that they were having, relations, and that he produced some metal chains for him and her to use as a, device around there for pleasure. During the, I should probably not show this on screen. During the, activity, at what point then, she apparently blurted out, "Damn, the head. I can't believe I left the head." Though before the officers say they were going to have, she told the officers they were going to have fun finding all of the organs that she had from the body. She told them most of the body parts were in the basement, but that there should be a foot or a leg in her minivan. Apparently, Calm told detectives after, put the chain around her neck and what she compared to a dog choke collar, but then she went crazy. She then said she could feel his heart beating, so she just kept doing it and said he would not die as he just kept rebuilding into muscle. She told then she, was on top and knew that he was waiting for her she was waiting for him to be no longer alive. And at some point she knew that he was no longer alive. And then again, the details are getting it just gets worse, guys. It gets worse. So she did not stop at that point because she knew it was done. And at that point, she continued to do things. Anyway, all I can say is this woman is a monster, a true monster. The word, it's hard to use that word on some, but this woman truly is. And she is trying to plead an insanity defense, which honestly, how else do you explain this? I just don't get it. How can anyone have these types of thoughts and follow through on them, which she did. So again, horrifying and not a surprise to see that she would be losing it and that the officers would take no time to restrain and put her back in as she is just a mess. But my goodness, really, really horrifying stuff to know that there's still people like this out there in the world. But there you go. That's the footage. That's the scene. And man, I hope this woman gets put away for a long, long time. I don't know what you do in a case like this. I want to hear your thoughts on it down below. Before you get to those comments, though, I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and again, let me know your thoughts. What do you do with a person like this? Leave your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll be live later today, so I hope to see you there, along with some more content here on Popcorn Planet.